Oh, um, okay, I'll do that. But first, disclaimers. Disclaimer number one, I am self-taught. That means that I did not have anybody show me how to do this. I did not look up how to do this. I simply figured it out. And that leads me to disclaimer number two. Since I had to figure it out on my own, I should also add this was 14 years ago, I don't know how to teach this exactly. Disclaimer number three. I'm not 100% sure if I'm doing it properly, and I haven't caused any permanent damage to my voice. At the same time, I don't know that this is the most efficient way, and I don't know that this is the safest way. Which brings me to disclaimer number four. Screaming is dangerous. I cannot stress this enough. You can tear vocal cords. You can bust blood vessels. This is not safe. I'm telling you now, so you know the risks. And I'm an absolute idiot for having learned to do this myself. If you feel as if this is hurting you, stop immediately. And if it's causing lasting pain, you need to contact a doctor. In my experience, I've found that you can run into a loss of your voice and, maybe a little bit of a sore throat. Please be careful. Please be responsible. Please take care of yourself. I don't want anybody getting hurt, especially learning how to do this from my video. That will make me feel very, 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 very upset. Disclaimer number five, final point, there is a learning curve to this. If this is your first time trying to learn how to do this, you will not get it immediately. That never happens. It took me years to learn how to do this properly. Practice will help you learn to do it better, learn to do it more efficiently, and therefore you will learn how to do this and not blow out your voice in 5 seconds. Okay, so enough with the disclaimers. Let's get into the meat and potatoes here. Lesson number one. Follow me here. I know that's silly, but hear me out. When I am making that noise, I am pushing from right here, okay? You do not want to be pushing from here, ever. That is how you can blow out your voice. This is obviously not going to get you where you want to be in screaming, but first, get that feeling in your head of and push with the diaphragm. Do not push from your throat. Step number two. I call it just whisper. Kind of like you're trying to warm up your hands on a cold day. Just hands are nice and toasty now. Once again, I know this is not where you want to be yet, but we're going to put those two together next. You're going to push from your diaphragm and go out of the there. Okay, on to step three. We're pushing from the diaphragm and we're getting that. We're finding that sweet spot, okay? You're going to find some spots on this next step that are going to probably irritate your throat. If it is getting too bad, stop immediately. Take care of yourself. Do not hurt yourself. You're going to try and push in that whisper to try and roll a little bit of the phlegm that's in your throat. It's going to sound like this. I really hope nobody cuts that and takes it completely out of context. I will be very upset because that's very silly. We're pushing from and we are kind of doing like a whispery thing. And we're closing things up just a tiny bit. Do not close your throat all the way off. You will hurt yourself. We are just barely breaking it up there. Okay, step four. We're going to take all three of those things we just learned and we're going to put them all together. So you're going to do the but you're going to kind of roll that phlegm and close things up in there just a teeny tiny bit. And now we're going to push from the diaphragm. Now the next thing we're going to try and do here is we're going to try and get a little bit of our voice into it. Remember the and how silly that sounded? Now it's not going to sound so silly because now you're going to be going, yeah! See how we're getting a little bit more power behind that and we're pushing a little bit of our voice into it. Keep in mind, that point is not going to come till later on. You can come back to this video anytime. I'll let you. And then once you're able to push from your diaphragm into that, yeah! And then you just put a little bit of your voice into it, yeah! Eventually, you will be able to scream. Okay, so having said all that, let's review. You want to from your diaphragm, right? You want to that's practicing pushing the air through your phlegm. Close it up just a teensy tiny bit. Do not close it too much. And kind of try and roll that phlegm. Yeah! Push from the diaphragm on it, giving you a nice little yeah! And that's basically how I do it. So on that note, we're going to close with a couple of things. First of all, remember, practice. But also remember, if it starts to hurt you, stop it. And if you think you've done any damage to your voice, call a doctor. We're not looking to get hurt here. This is supposed to be fun. If you feel like your voice is wearing out a little bit and maybe you're pushing a little bit too hard, take some breaks. It's okay. Nobody's going to get this down in one day. It's not going to take you a week. It's going to take a minute till you can finally get this done right. And even after you've learned how to do it, you are still going to learn different little things that are going to help you do it better and more sustainably. And my final note for you, hydrate. If y'all need any further explanation, I am more than happy to answer any questions you might have down in the comments. If I was not clear on something, please let me know. To reiterate my points from the disclaimers, I have no idea how exactly to teach this, so I just tried to break it down for you. And if there's anything I could be doing better, please let me know. I am just doing this because a kind man asked me, and I thought maybe I could make something useful for you all. So anyway, good luck to you. Be safe out there.